Today we're going to talk about skincare routines. I am going to share with you a core 5 products or type of products that I think are necessary in everyone's skincare routine. I mean, if you are 25 years old or if you are 75 years old. Then what I wanted to do is I wanted to take specific skin concerns and tell you what I think you should be looking for if that applies to you to add to that core routine. Now, the intention here is that you have this really basic routine that is very, very good for anti-aging, for helping with pigment, for helping with fine lines, for helping with dryness, for helping with the, look of beautiful skin, all of that kind of stuff. A core 5, a good one for you. And then expanding on it as necessary. And I think that is the key here, as necessary. So this should be helpful if you are trying to develop a good skincare routine, if you are maybe a young person just starting out, or if you are someone who has never really gotten into skincare, but now you are. This part should help you. But then this should also help you if you are overwhelmed with all of the skincare that you have and you need to edit down your skincare routine. Getting back to basics is a great way to really evaluate what you need in your skincare routine. And I think that a lot of these skin conditions, people don't realize that there are specific things that they should look for in their skincare routine. Rosacea, for example, texture. If you have excessively dry skin, maybe if you have acne or if you have pigment. I'm going to cover all of that today. In addition to that, you guys, I'm also going to put this on the blog. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually put sample routines for every single one of these, the core routine, plus every single skin condition. I'm going to put a sample routine of your AM and your PM so that you will have no questions about when to incorporate what into your skincare routine. If you're new here, my name is Penny. I'm a master esthetician in Portland, Oregon. I'm super excited that you're here. I do hope that you will subscribe before you leave, and I hope you'll follow me over on Instagram. I'm actually taking people's questions on a post on Instagram, and I'm sharing my answers on stories. So if you have skincare questions that you would like to get answered, definitely head over to Instagram and follow me there. Also, if you are not already part of my private Facebook group, I am inviting you to join. I'm going to put a link in the description box. Just go down there, click on that link, join this amazing community of skin enthusiasts. There's over 18,000 of us, and we talk skincare all day long. What are the core 5? These are pretty simple, you guys. First of all, everyone needs a cleanser. Everybody should be cleansing their skin at night. It is super important for, getting rid of dirt and debris and makeup and sunscreen. So a cleanser, that is one of the core 5. The second thing in my core 5 is going to be a retinoid. Now, if you're not familiar, retinoids is an umbrella term for vitamin A derivatives. Vitamin A in the active form is retin-A or tretinoin. And then in the inactive form, it's retinol, retinaldehyde. I believe that everybody should have a retinoid on board. I think that that is helpful in promoting healthy skin turnover. It's helpful with pigment. It is helpful with fine lines. It's helpful with collagen stimulation. So everybody should have a retinoid on board. If you are young or if you are wise, we should all have a retinoid. Okay, the next thing that I think that everyone should have is a vitamin C. Vitamin C is not only helpful for a glow, it's helpful for pigment. It is helpful in the help with your sun protection. It's a profound antioxidant that can help to kind of battle environmental stressors and oxidative stressors on our skin. Vitamin C is just a fantastic topical to use. Next, we have moisturizer. As simple as a moisturizer might sound, it is really, really important. And the reason why moisturizer is important is because it actually sits on the surface of our skin and traps in water. Now, skin that is properly hydrated and full of water that's not able to escape too rapidly will actually have a better barrier function. And I have talked about this in videos past, but a healthy barrier function, you guys, is everything. It is helpful in warding off acne. It's helpful for keeping your skin looking plump and hydrated and youthful. It's helpful to get rid of, flakes and things like that. It's definitely helpful in keeping out unwanted bacteria and pathogens. And a healthy barrier is important for keeping water in. So moisturizer is simple, but very, very important. And the final thing in this core 5 is sunscreen. Sunscreen is likely right up there with the cleanser because it's going to protect protect us from UVA and UVB if you get a good sunscreen. And that is helpful, number one, because it helps protect us from skin cancer. And May is Skin Cancer Awareness Month, you guys. You should get your skin checked and you should be wearing sunscreen. The other thing that of course sunscreen is going to do is it is the best anti-aging thing that you can do, because it helps to block. A good sunscreen is going to help with UVA rays. UVA rays are the ones that are aging. They are going to, cause excessive pigment, and of course they can cause skin cancer. So sunscreen is absolutely imperative. Okay, once you have that core 5, you could stop there. You could definitely create a wonderful routine with just those 5 things. I am, again, going to put a routine with just the core on my blog. So if you want to see exactly how I would arrange that core, go ahead and check the blog. Now let's talk about some skin conditions that you may have. I'm going to timestamp this, you guys, right here. And I'm also going to put the timestamps in the description box so that you can skip around if you want to. First of all, if you have redness or you have rosacea, if that is one of your primary concerns, you want to look for products with azelaic acid. Azelaic acid is an ingredient that is anti-inflammatory. It's going to help with redness. It's going to help with swelling. It actually also helps with pigment. So if you have rosacea, azelaic acid is definitely the ingredient that you need to be looking for. If you have excessive redness that maybe isn't rosacea, azelaic acid. If you have something called post-inflammatory erythema, so redness, again, notice the theme here. If you have redness in excess in any way, likely azelaic acid can help. In a prescription form, there is like Finacea, and dermatologists would prescribe that for people with rosacea. And it absolutely can help in 15% concentrations. Now, over the counter, we typically see it in 10% concentrations. So with consistent use, it can be helpful in 10% concentration, used morning and night. Just watch for irritation like everything in this world, but azelaic acid can absolutely be helpful. Okay, how about if you have texture? If you are somebody who has textured skin that you want to alleviate, first of all, in that core 5, retinoids and vitamin C are both going to help with textured skin because they're going to encourage healthy skin turnover. But vitamin C in itself is an exfoliator, it's an acid, so that can help with textured skin already. Then moisturizer actually can help with textured skin as well, because healthy hydrated skin that keeps its water will actually produce a better texture. So in your core 5, if you have textured skin, you are already going to be helping it. But what can you add to help it even more? Alpha hydroxy acids. If textured skin is your number 1 issue, then you want to be incorporating lactic or glycolic acid into the mix to help with exfoliating the surface of your skin and improving the texture and the smoothness of your skin. Now remember, lactic acid is an alpha hydroxy acid that is also a humectant. So if you have dry and textured skin, you may want to add in lactic acid. If you have regular, normal skin that's not dry, not dehydrated, and it is textured, you may want to add in glycolic acid. Glycolic acid, side note, is also helpful in stimulating collagen production. So glycolic acid can not only help you with texture in your skin and smooth out the skin, but it can also help to promote collagen production. So glycolic acid is absolutely one of my favorite alpha hydroxy acids. Okay, so that's textured skin. Next up, how about if you have pigment? If pigment is your number 1, in addition to your core 5, which again, retinoids are absolutely going to help with pigment, and so is vitamin C. So you're already doing some things to help with your pigment, but what can you add into that core 5? Pigment inhibitors. You want to get dedicated pigment inhibitors on board. Number 1, that's going to be, for me, tranexamic acid. Tranexamic acid is a pigment inhibitor that is going to help to alleviate the excess pigment that's coming to the surface of the skin. And in 3% concentrations, tranexamic acid is shown to work as well as hydroquinone. Now, this is especially timely because hydroquinone over the counter in the United States is not going to be allowed anymore. And so we definitely want to be searching for pigment inhibitors that are available to us over the counter, and that would be tranexamic acid and arbutin. Now, arbutin is an ingredient that also comes from the bearberry plant, just like hydroquinone, only it is more of a natural ingredient. So it is still okay, and we still can get it in the United States over the counter. So we definitely want to be looking for tranexamic acid or arbutin in our products to add into that core 5. Now remember, all of these routines with timing, AM and PM, are going to be on my blog. So if any of these apply to you, you will be able to print a specific routine just for you that will tell you when to have and how to layer any of these things, okay? Next, we're going to talk about dry skin. Now, this one's near and dear to my heart because I have very, very dry skin. So it's important, if you have dry skin and you're doing that core routine, that you add in humectants. What this means is you just want to get hydrating serums or essences into the mix prior to using your moisturizer. What ingredients you want to look for in those essences or serums are going to be something called humectants, and they are going to be beta-glucan is a great one. Sodium PCA is another fantastic ingredient to look for. Another ingredient that you can look for is panthenol, that is vitamin B5. Another great humectant is hyaluronic acid. Now, when I'm talking about hyaluronic acid in a skincare routine, I love to look for serums that have a compilation of humectants. So they may have 5 different weights of hyaluronic acid along with the sodium PCA and a bunch of humectants together that will work synergistically before your moisturizer. So you would put a serum on and then your moisturizer traps it in. So you essentially give your skin a drink of water and then trap it in with your moisturizer. So if dry skin is your number one concern, I recommend you do your core 5, but you add in a humectant to the mix. Okay, next we're going to talk about acne. Now, acne is one of those things that is a very, very huge subject that it's not like one single ingredient is going to cure somebody's acne. And I don't want anybody to take away from this that. However, I do think that there are some things that we could add into that core 5 that could be very, very helpful if you are somebody who experiences breakouts. And that ingredient is hypochlorous acid. Now, recently I've been breaking out, and it's likely due to all of the things that I test. And sometimes it may actually be an allergic reaction. Sometimes it's actual pimples. And every single time, hypochlorous acid has come to my rescue. I am a big believer in it. It is anti-inflammatory. It's antimicrobial. It is actually one of the things that basically can chase down, trap a pathogen, and neutralize it. So as far as a bacteria is concerned or viruses are concerned, hypochlorous acid is absolutely an amazing rescue product that if you have acne or if you break out or if you get maskne and you haven't tried this ingredient, it may be something that you want to incorporate into that core routine. And again, I will incorporate it into a very simple, breakdown AM PM routine on the blog. The other thing that I do think is worth looking into if you have acne is salicylic acid. Now, salicylic acid can help with congestion. It can help with blackheads because it helps to disencrust the pore lining. It helps to dislodge debris so that when you wash your face, stuff comes out of your pores, helping your skin to look more clear. It also can help with the regulation of oil production, and it is anti-inflammatory, so it can help with acne that way as well. So the ingredients that I suggest you look for if you have acne and you're doing that core routine are salicylic acid and hypochlorous acid. Now, the last skin condition that I want to go over is large pores and congestion. And it's quite similar to the acne suggestion, but let's say you don't necessarily break out, but you notice a lot of pores and they're enlarged to you. Now, our pore size doesn't actually change, but the appearance of our pore size can absolutely change. So the ingredients that you want to add in to the core will be niacinamide and salicylic acid. Now, niacinamide is vitamin B3, and you guys have probably heard me talk about that here on this channel so many times, but niacinamide has so many benefits beyond just our pores. It helps to hold water in our skin because it helps to improve our barrier function. And again, our barrier function is so incredibly important. Niacinamide in itself is a pigment inhibitor, so it can help if you have excess pigment. And then niacinamide also does help with the regulation of oil production. And if our oil is balanced and it's in check, check. That helps to limit the amount of debris that can form in our pores, causing them to distend and look bigger. So niacinamide can really, really help the appearance of refined pores. Salicylic acid, again, is going to be really helpful for large pores because it definitely helps to keep debris kind of loose so that it doesn't get stuck in the pore, causing them to distend and look bigger. So salicylic acid and niacinamide are the two ingredients that I highly recommend that you incorporate into that core routine to help with the appearance of your pores. Now remember, the retinoids alone are going to help with the appearance of our pores. They definitely can in themselves help us to look like we have more refined skin texture. So it's not to say that that core routine isn't good all by itself. So if you are someone who's overwhelmed and you are overwhelmed with all of the skincare that you may have, simplify it down to those 5 things, pull out the things that apply in each of those categories, look at the list of skin concerns, see what 1 or 2 of those apply to you, add in those specific ingredients, and assess your skin in 6 to 8 weeks and see if you need to tweak your routine or maybe you need to add or subtract something out of that routine. Give yourself some time with consistency to see a difference in your skin. Remember, our skin turns over between 28 and 40 days depending on our age, so we really need to give things time to work. Retinoids, honestly, you need to give them a long time to work. You need to give them 6 months to a year before you really start to see the huge benefit of a retinoid. So consistency and compliance is huge, and patience. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that you will edit your routine, or I hope if you're building a routine for the first time, whether you're 20 or you're 60, that you will try those core things, incorporate them into a routine, download or print the schedule so that you know exactly when to use the products. And as you get a little bit more sophisticated, or as you want to, check in with yourself and see what things concern you the most and incorporate the right ingredients. That is crucial. We all think that everything applies to us. We all think that every single skin condition is a problem we have, when really what we need to be doing is taking we need to evaluate the things that, really what's the top concern that I have? Then what's next? And add things in according to that, not the whole kitchen sink. So if you have questions or you have additional skin concerns that didn't make this list, put them in the comment section and I'll give you an ingredient that I think that you could add into that core routine. And I will add that to the blog also. I'm going to create so many routines, you guys, to hopefully help people learn and understand when to incorporate what into their routine. And often what I think we're going to find is it's all about simplifying our skincare routines, for sure. I hope you guys are having a wonderful week, and I will talk to you in my next skincare video. Take care.